Hey guys, Sam with Bayshore Plumbers here again, and I want to show you something today that I think is one of the most annoying things, especially for me as a plumber when I go to other people's houses, and you might think the same. Now, do you ever have an issue where you've got to jiggle that handle, or you go to your friend's house and the toilet cover's off, removed, and you actually got to reach down there to make that flapper fall over and stop that, or that toilet is just running non-stop, right? These are some issues that, for whatever reason, they're really cheap, they're really easy to repair, but for the most part, a lot of customers, they don't call us. They're scared of the calling over the plumber. We're expensive, I get it, right? I want to just show you really quick how you can take care of these problems. I've gone out so many times where, especially with repeat customers, that I've showed them how to do it. They never call us again for these small minor issues, and they end up teaching their friends. I think it's very important for especially these smaller jobs. I do want your bigger work. I do want that sewer line out that we're going to replace out in the street, that repipe, that water heater job. But these really, really small ones, I think it's very important. If I can teach you how to fix them yourself, I think you'll get a benefit out of it, and I'll get some likes on YouTube. Now, it's always important to remember you don't want to waste water, and you don't want to go shut it off at the front. If you're going to take this flapper away, you don't want the water running the whole time, obviously. So one of the things that you should do is, just like it is right here, except for the broken piece there, you're going to find a valve. You're always going to find that angle stop valve. It might be coming up out of the floor, really popular on mobile homes, or it might just be coming out of the wall about yay high. Like any other valve, you're going to turn it clockwise to shut it off. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So you're going to shut it off. In this case, this is just a quarter turn valve. Turn it till it stops. It's done, it's off. You can work on the toilet, no water is going to spill out anywhere. You're not going to have to disconnect any of this for this flapper replacement, but it's very important you kind of just shut it off there, and then you're done. Get it back in there, you turn it on, and you're good to go. What we got here is just our kind of shop toilet. You guys break it, and now we use it for training. This is a Toto Drake, one of my favorite toilets. Really simple, it's inexpensive, and I think, in my opinion, it just works great. I hardly ever have these back up, but we're not here to talk about Toto. Definitely here to talk about that leak. One of the most important things, or let's say telltale signs, clues, are when the water is running, what it's actually doing, and you identifying what you need to fix. Now, it could be three things. It could be the fill valve is just constantly running. So the floater inside, it doesn't stop the water from flowing out for whatever reason. Either the gaskets are bad or whatever, it's just old. Or the water from the tank is transferring down to the bowl by way of a rotted out flapper. That is the most common problem. So we're going to cover that. We'll get to a fill valve probably in a future video. Definitely want to cover that because it's really easy to repair. But the flapper itself tends to leak as it gets older, and this all depends on the water quality you have at your house. Here in Northern California, we've got some awesome water. They don't seem to go bad before about 5 to 10 years, but even just down in the South Bay, San Jose, maybe Los Altos South, the water quality is just not as good. There's a lot of chlorine in the water. It's well water, and it tends to calcify either around or even just really, really harden that flapper. Now, from the video inside, you can actually see, how pliable this rubber Toto flapper is. Now, as this corrodes, gets old or damaged, it tends to kind of start lifting, and it allows water to get through this valve, because that's what it is. It's called a flush valve, and the flapper is what stops the water from transferring from the tank to the bowl. As this gets old and crusty, water kind of starts spilling out. It kind of seals it up a little bit. There's not enormous amount of water, but it does begin to leak a little bit into the tank, not out to your floor, but down to the toilet down to the bowl and out to your sewer. So you end up, depending on how bad it is, you could be losing quite a bit of water. It could get pretty expensive. So if that is the case, it's a really quick fix. My favorite way of doing it is literally removing the flapper. You don't need any tools typically. It kind of just snaps out or just pulls off if it's all rubber. Now pulls off just like that, kind of snapping off. There is a little chain up top, and you pull this flapper out. Once you've got it out, the easiest way to do it, and what I don't remember every single model of toilet, is in the back of the toilet. I take my phone and I actually snap a picture of the model of the toilet. It would actually say, it's like in this one, it says model. It's ST743E. I'm not gonna remember that, so I'll snap a picture of it and I'll take my flapper. You know, it's not really dirty, even this part of your toilet, but it's on the clean side. And you can walk this over to a hardware store and compare. You can go off of the brand and off of the model number, and typically there are some flappers that are universal. This one's a pretty good one. Corky flappers are great, but behind every flapper, you'll actually notice that it replaces several brands. This one at least replaces about 7 or 8 of them. And you can actually see where it says fits models X, and it goes through all the models that it will replace. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I would say, I'm really biased, I would just go get a Toto one. They have them everywhere now. It wasn't the case before, but you get a nice Toto one. You get one that's comparable. It's written right in the back of it. Just pick that back up and you bring it back to your toilet, and just the way you pulled it off, and it might be slightly different. It might not be exactly the same look. The shape might be slightly different. The size, there are 2 sizes. There's a 3-inch and there's a 2-inch. Totos are famous for their 3-inch models. They let a lot more water go up at one particular time, or as soon as you flush it. And this just goes back in, snaps back in, and you kind of let it down. To do is, the length is very important. If it's too long, it's just not going to work. The lever of the handle is going to hit the top of the cover and it's not going to work. So what I typically do is I usually kind of stretch it out. Sometimes I even fill it up with water first so that I get a little bit of resistance here. And I match it up to where this lever little paper clip thingy here, and you kind of line it up. So kind of you got about, if you were to kind of measure it, it'd be like 2 lengths, 1 or 2 lengths loose, and you just go to that once you've compared it, and you kind of just snap it in there. Just like that. If you got excess chain, you can you know, we don't in this case, but you can actually either break it off, ply it off, or you can actually just hook it in here as well. And I'll do that just to show it. Got it in there, done. Now we got about 2 chain lengths of distance here, where I know when it flushes, this isn't going to be too short. If it is too short and it tries to close, this chain won't let it go all the way down, and you'll just leak into the piping there. You give it about 2 lengths and it's fine. When you do flush it, there's always a firm little flush. It comes into the top. It kind of just floats there because of the air that's in here, and it lowers slowly and lets the water out or out into the bowl. Like today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And if there's any ideas for any future videos that you'd like to see on our channel, please comment below and let us know your thoughts.